Hey, what's up guys? My name is Gene, I'm JAXTWIN, and on this channel we talk tech. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing to stay up to date when I drop new videos every week. Now in today's video, there's a few things I wish I knew before switching over from Apple to Samsung, and a few things I kind of knew and a few things I kind of wish that someone would have told me. But before we begin, if you guys are new to my channel, please consider subscribing to stay up to date when I drop new videos every single week. All right, let's get to the video. So whenever you switch over to a new phone, there's always a ton of stuff that the folks at Best Buy or the folks at your cellular retail store will tell you to do before switching over, before even selling your device or before trading in your device. Some of these things on my list here I'm pretty sure about, and some of them I just, I kind of wish I knew before, but let's go ahead and talk about it. Now, the first thing that they always tell you to do is back up your phone. So that is actually standard. Anywhere you go, before selling your phone, before trading on your phone, you want to make sure that you are backing it up. Now, Google Drive is actually a great place to back up your photos, your videos. Apple offers actually a pretty good place where you can back up your phone. And then Samsung also offers their own service in terms of backing up your files, etc. Although a lot of those backups are done in the cloud, there's also the external side of it where you can actually get a hard drive and move all that stuff onto a hard drive before doing anything else. So that's kind of pretty standard. I think that's kind of easy. I think most of you guys, or some of you guys, should know that. Now, the second thing here on my list is to make sure that your phone is wiped clean the right way. Now, it's kind of obvious, especially with gadgets and technology. Whenever you're trading something in or selling it, you want to make sure that you're doing a factory reset, or you're doing some type of hard reset where all of the information is purged right away. And that's just to make sure that there's no lingering information out there that you don't want the new person or the new company having. So it's kind of pretty standard. Now, the third thing is something I know, but I had to be reminded of. Now, what is that? It's the third thing that you should know is to spend time getting to know your phone. That sounds a little easy, but what I mean by that is basically taking the time to actually read the manual, taking the time to go through some of the videos online. I know that not everyone's going to take the time to do that, but oftentimes whenever I buy new tech or whenever I'm switching over from one brand to another, it's helpful to actually watch the tutorials, and it's helpful to see a lot of the stuff that, the support information that might be out there, and to know, or actually get into the forums to see what information is being discussed. So that's actually pretty easy. Now, getting to know your phone can also mean finding out how to make a simple phone call and text. That's actually really big. I didn't realize that, for us, or for a lot of people who have tech and are tech enthusiasts, this is like normal. But for someone who is actually not versed, doing that is probably really helpful to figure out how to do the simple things on your phone. What I also mean by spending time with your phone is finding out where you can find your IMEI number or your device number, or finding other information about your device. So Apple actually does a great job about this, where everything is in settings and under about. Samsung actually has an even better way of finding that out. You can just type in IMEI or whatever it is that you're looking for, and it simply just shows you all the categories that keyword can be under. So it's a big plus with a lot of these new Samsung devices. Now, you also want to know how to reset your phone to factory setting. I think that's kind of the same standard there when you're actually getting to know your phone, is you want to know how to do the basic, like some of the big tasks that you're probably going to need to do if you get stuck somewhere. And the next thing here is, obviously you want to know how to restart your phone if there's ever an issue with your phone. And you also want to be able to know how to set a voicemail, add a contact. And a lot of that stuff is kind of stuff that you should know or have an idea of doing before leaving the carrier. Make sure you know how to do basic functions, because once you walk out that door, you might run into an issue where, you have to figure it out on your own. Now, the next thing here on my list is to organize your phone. Now, what do I mean by this? I think it's very wise for you to understand your phone from top to bottom and use shortcuts. A lot of these phones today, especially a lot of the iPhones, a lot of these big tablet phones, the bar phones, what have you, will have shortcuts on the phone that help you to take pictures, that help you to send a quick text. With Apple devices, there's actually a quick way to send an emergency, like if you're stuck somewhere, or if you're being followed, or if you're in a space where you feel unsafe. There's also little shortcuts where you can dial emergency services, etc. So you want to know how to do some of that, basic thing, but that's also understanding and organizing your phone. Now, organizing your phone can also mean placing stuff, like knowing where you put your folder, organizing your main layout. You know, where do you want all your finance apps to be? Where do you want all your, you know, your video apps to be, or where do you want all your gaming apps to be? So that's kind of like standard stuff. So that's an easy one, but it is a big one. It's easy, but it is a big one. Now, sticking on the subject of organizing your phone, the next one up is using widgets. Using widgets is actually really understandable. What I love about the Z Fold and what I love about the Samsung device is that you do have that side menu that is clutch, in my opinion. That has saved me plenty of times when I'm just trying to get to something really quickly, and oftentimes that sidebar will include your most recent or most used apps, which is actually very helpful. I haven't gotten to kind of setting this phone up the way I want to, but that actually helps a lot, more than you guys think. Now, the other thing I didn't realize, and this is probably the one thing that was a shocker to me, was not all apps are the same, and not all apps are available on Apple and or Samsung. So that's something that you gotta be aware of. There's a lot of apps here that I use for my workflow, and there's a lot of stuff that I'm so used to using that being without it, it's almost like, oh man, I gotta start a new process, or oh man, I gotta like figure this out. So it's really helpful to understand that when you do switch over, there's a lot of stuff that you're going to lose in terms of apps. And for some people, it might not be worth it. Some people have that one app that they're like, nah, I'm not gonna change. But just all about finding alternatives and dealing with it. I use a lot of Microsoft products. Going from Apple to Samsung, I have to say that the apps on the Samsung or the Android device is so much easier to use, and I feel like a lot of the functionalities is so much, you know, I can get to what I need to get to right away. So actually coming from Apple and seeing it on the Samsung device really was really nice, and it was like kind of eye-opening to figure out like some of the stuff I didn't know that I could use. But you know, that's obviously a plus in my case, but maybe not so. So it's always obviously very important to try to find alternatives for some of the apps that you use on a daily. All right, so keeping it moving here is accessories. So you want to make sure that you have the right accessories. That's actually something that does get discussed a lot. Whenever you switch from, for example, the iPhone 11 to the iPhone 12, a lot of the accessories may not fit because the size of the phone has changed, the layout of the phone has changed, the actual weight of the phone has changed. So I actually was quietly reminded of this when I tried to put my Z Fold into my Audi car mount, and I realized that the Audi car mount doesn't fit it the right way. So I have to get a new car mount for this. So imagine like all the stuff that you're used to using, all the accessories, lightning, all the other accessories that you're probably used to using on a daily basis. You have to think about, alternatives, or think about buying new accessories that are going to fit your new device. So that's actually one of the ones that I was quietly reminded, and I said, man, I wish I kind of just ordered it when I ordered the phone. But that is what it is. So sticking on to spending, the other thing that you have to be mindful of is whenever you switch from one device to another, there's something that I don't hear people talk about a lot, is that you're going to end up spending more on accessories or spending more in other areas that you didn't expect to spend. Now, one of the gripes about the Z Fold is that because it's a brand new phone, and the Z Fold and the Z Flip, because they're brand new phones, a lot of the accessories are super expensive. So now you're looking at cases that are costing like $80, $90. In some cases, you have folks out here on Etsy charging $150 for a special made case for the phone. And I think that's kind of, you're crazy, you're not gonna get my money, but I just think that's a bit unnecessary. Oftentimes, but that's not always the case. Usually when a new phone is dropping out, a lot of the manufacturers will have cases made, will have all that ready to go, but expect to spend more because you're switching over. Now, the other thing to mention here is warranty. Now, warranty is something that I actually don't see. I actually didn't see too many videos about it. You wanna make sure that you understand what your warranty is when you're switching from one to the other. You want to make sure that you understand if it's 1 year, want to make sure that if it's limited warranty, you want to make sure what that warranty covers. Does it cover accidental? Does it cover theft? Does it cover any other imperfections that the phone may come with? You just want to make sure you understand that. And Apple offers a really good warranty. I mean, for the most part, their Apple devices are, in my opinion, are built really well. Samsung devices are built really well, but they're still fragile. At the end of the day, you're paying like $1,000+ for a phone. So I would strongly recommend that you at least consider buying the warranty, because you just never know what's going to happen. I've seen too many stories where people walk out of the Apple store and all they did was just walk out of the Apple store, tripped over something, and then the phone came smashing down, and they try to come back into the store and say, oh, can I get a new one, or can I get it replaced? And the person at Apple's like, I can't help you. You know, I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but it's like, get the warranty. If you know you got butterfingers, get the warranty. Understand your warranty. Now, number 9 here is also going to relate back to accessories. If you're spending this kind of money for any type of device, I feel like anything 500, actually no, not 500, anything that you spend money on, you're going to have to buy accessories first. So you also want to make sure that you're not buying cheap accessories. I see a lot of people who are like, oh, you know, I like the fact that my phone is so thin and I'm going to buy this super thin case. But you got to understand that you're taking a chance. You know, you got to understand that you're taking a chance by doing that. So I'm a real big advocate of buying really quality cases, making sure that you're buying some of the top tier stuff if you could afford it. I've just seen too many cases where people, that's a pun. I've seen too many cases where people would literally, their phone flings out of their hands, and because they want to look cute with the phone smashes to the ground. And the first thing I asked them is that, do you have warranty? You realize what that answer is. And then the last thing on the list here is kind of something random, but I just wanted to mention it whenever you switch over to any type of new device, is you want to give it a chance. You want to set expectations for that device. I find that sometimes whenever we switch from Apple to Samsung or vice versa, in your mind, you already think that this phone is not going to be as good as my last phone. But I just find that you want to just give it a little bit of a chance. You know, obviously a lot of these phones, when you buy them brand new, you do have a 2-week period. In some cases, like Verizon, they give you 30 days to really try out the phone, to really try out the service. So, but you also want to make sure that you give it a valiant effort. Try it out first. Get to know the phone, get the case, take it out for, you know, a couple of days, bring it with you on some of the normal places that you go to, and really give it a chance. But that is my video, guys. Hopefully I didn't go too long, but I just really wanted to talk about those 10 things that I kind of wished I knew before and after switching over to my Z Fold. This phone, obviously you guys know that this phone has been life, and there's just so much about the phone that I wish I kind of knew ahead of time. But that's the video, guys. I just want to thank you guys for watching this video. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you guys are new to my channel, please consider subscribing, as this helps me to grow my channel. Again, thank you for watching. Definitely leave me your comments down below and let me know if there are some tips that you might want to suggest for someone who is considering switching over to another phone. For example, in my case, Apple to Samsung, and maybe in your case, Samsung to Apple. But let's keep the conversation going. And until my next video, peace.